name is Garry. So I'm based out of Hong Kong. I look after the financial services solutions practice for Alibaba Cloud across the international markets. So actually, I do see some familiar names and faces here. So thank you very much for your support to date. And I also hope to find some real friends after today's session as well. So let's get started here, right? Bridge talked about that industry. It's about do we understand your world, right? So when Alibaba Cloud talks about financial services, we want to be highly relevant to what the industry is thinking. Now, just a show of hands, for those obviously looking at Gen AI or large language model, who's bought shares in NVIDIA? I'm sure there's a few, right? Maybe 10 to 15% of the audience. So what you see behind me is the latest 2023 NVIDIA survey from global financial services audience. Now, the items that are highlighted in orange will be touched on within some of my presentations. Maybe take another 5 to 10 seconds. If you haven't seen it, you can find it. It's a public report. All right? Share it with your colleagues. Alibaba Cloud for Financial Services, we talk about two things. One, of course, we are the cloud of Alibaba. So there's no denying of that, right? So we provide the cloud computing, we provide the AI, we provide what I call the hygiene factors. But the second point that I want everyone to take home from today is the fact that Alibaba Cloud also serves a very important purpose for Alibaba, which is we are also the arm to commercialize the best of Alibaba for you. And that's why when we talk about the fact that we know the industry, it's because we serve the industry. We have our own business practices. So the technology that we build reflects the way we do business. And that's important because you don't just want to work with a technology partner, right? You want to work with someone who's got the know-how to show you the best practices. And in fact, some of the best practices that I'm showing here today, some of our customers are here. You'll find out later on. 3 numbers, right? So on the theme of 5, we talked about 5 steps, we talked about 3 numbers that I want you to take away today, even if you don't remember any of the content. We have 5 core capabilities. Now, the 5 core capabilities is designed in such a way that we recognize that enterprises have many different departments, you have many functions, right? You have people looking after marketing and app development, right? So what we want to talk to you about is how we do digital onboarding and servicing remotely. We talk to you about how to open accounts remotely. We talk to you about Ekyc. We talk to you about how to define and build the next super app. Now, if you're from the application development team, what we want to talk to you about is best practices in terms of leveraging our cloud-native solutions so that you can build and modernize your applications on the cloud. Now, my colleague Horan later on will also talk to you about how do I help you to build trusted insight decision-making journeys within your own environment. Last but not least, and this is in our name, if you're from the IT and infrastructure team, we talk to you about robust and elastic infrastructure. Because we want to make sure that every topic that we talk to you about is something that is highly relevant, not only to your organization, it is relevant to what you're doing. Now, of course, I'm happy for you to introduce us to your colleagues in other departments so that we can share other best practices to them. Security is also of utmost importance, and that's why secure and compliant foundation is also one of the key core capabilities that we talk about. Now, of course, we also have Dr. William Chung today, part of which in Secure and Compliance Foundation, we also talk about ESG and sustainability because that is one of the most talked about topics as well when I talk to any of the financial services customers across the world. So that's number 5. The second number is 20. As you can see here, each of the smaller boxes, they represent a business scenario which is actually backed by a financial services solutions. And behind that, there's actually more than 70 financial-grade cloud products that sits behind this diagram. But for the purpose of time today, I'm not going to go through all 70 with you. So I just want you to take away 3 numbers, 5, 2070. We talked about compliance. So the good news for you is, across the world, we have Alibaba Cloud compliance specialists sitting in somewhere near you. Not next to you, but they'll be somewhere near you to help you, to guide you through what have some of our customers been doing, what have Alibaba been doing in terms of fulfilling local financial services authorities' requirement. And that's important. If you think about the fundamental or what is the key business of financial services, I can tell you, it is not payments, it is not lending, it is not taking deposits, it is risk management. So how do we help you to better manage your risk? 3 key topics today. We'll talk about digital onboarding, we'll talk about software app, and one of the latest focus that we've had now is core system modernization, and I'll share some of the best practices there as well. So what you see here is our Ekyc platform. Now it's actually been widely used across major financial institutions and actually some industry that are outside, telco, retail as well. Because the ability, there's a demo video here just to give you a sense of how easy and how smooth that experience is. Now the good news is a lot of people ask us about, one moment, as we navigate the technical difficulty. What makes us that different? Because Ekyc, there's actually a lot of different technology providers out there. Now, if you take 5 to 10 seconds to look at the demo video, you'll see that within a matter of 2 actions, I have confirmed whether you're a real person. And it is important because digital onboarding is your step 1. So if we look at the financial services in terms of risk management framework, we always talk about 3 layers of defense. This is layer 1. So if you're not using a good Ekyc engine, you need to be asking yourself, why not? Some of our customers go, oh, Garry, Ekyc, do we need it? Pricing seems a bit expensive, right? Oh, I've got a really good OCR engine. It scans the card. I can scrape the data. I can automate our account opening process. And let me get you some figures, right? Recently, the Hong Kong police discovered there's more than 64,000 SIM cards that were registered using fake IDs. Now, many of you are in the financial services organization, right? What is your key 2-factor authentication method? I'm sure SMS appears somewhere in there, right? But guess what? It's a fake ID. So you've done really good account onboarding, but the SMS is fake, or the account number is fake. So what do you do? And that's what happened. So in Hong Kong, what happened was basically only one of the telco, which is our customer, they adopted Ekyc. Then actually they were successfully in defending many of these fake identities, whereas the rest of the telco wasn't so lucky. And as a result, it impacted financial services organizations. So key part is you saw how smooth the experience is. Second is the ease of integration. For those that are very worried that you have a very bulky Ekyc, it's less than 5 megabytes as you do integration. And most importantly, we own the IP. And that's very, very crucial because many of the providers that you work with, they integrate third-party technologies. And I can tell you right now, regulators across the region, they've been looking into the financial services organization and asked, what is the AI doing? So many of our customers struggle because their provider cannot explain, but we can. Just to give you a sense, we have, and many of these are real cases that we've discovered across the Southeast Asian markets. You can see high quality face masks. We talk about Gen AI, right? Deep fake. We talk about attacking with phone screens. So we have the ability to help you to defend and fend off the fake customers. In addition, when we talk about KYC, you have to talk about AML. So this is just a very simple representation of the ability to help you to find out what are some of the suspicious transactions that are happening across your payments network. So this diagram is showing you For example, where are the proceeds of gambling that are running across your business? And that's a problem if you don't know. Now, this is very interesting. So we're talking about algorithm, right? So take another 10 seconds to look at this. This is one of our security labs. I won't disclose where it is, but it is the official security lab that is used to test the world's Android phone. 70% of the world's Android phone gets sent here to test their biometric, so your thumbprint, the lens, all get sent here. Each of the phones get tested over 200,000 times. So our Ekyc engine is tested here again so we have 20 robotic arms, which does AI testing 24/7. So as I mentioned before, when we talk about best practices, we don't just build out the best practices, we also use the best way to test. And we're very happy. We helped UBX, the fintech arm of Union Bank of the Philippines, to integrate our Ekyc engine into their own open finance platform. Now, the key objective of this open finance platform, the numbers aside, right, eliminating over 90%, opening accounts within 3 minutes, I think the key is the fact that UBX was able to build a platform that once you do an Ekyc with them, when the customers provides their consent, they're actually able to pass on that digital identity to the next financial services organization. And I think this is important because this is where, as we build trust, right, you trust Union Bank of the Philippines. So once they do an Ekyc for your customer, you might not need to do it again. Of course, you need to look at your organization's own risk appetite. Super app, mobile first. This is the strategy of Alibaba, and it hasn't changed. And the way we build our super app capability reflects in the way that we've built one of the two major super apps across the world. And the good news for you is, if you want to start your journey on building the super app, you don't actually have to work it out yourself. I'm not going to go through the details, but in short, we have a one-stop super shop for you. We talk about digital experience, we talk about onboarding, how you handle multimedia, security, building out your ecosystem. Digital engagement is interesting because digital engagement is about, do you understand what your customer is doing on your app? I can tell you most customers, they can do it, but they struggle. It's an art, right? Well, I have the technology for you. But the good news is we can share some of that art as well as we interact. And this is just a snippet, right? So I recently helped the largest local bank in Hong Kong to adopt what I call the end-to-end digital engagement journey. Starting from the left is actually our mobile super app framework. So we help you to analyze the behavior, right, that is happening on the mobile, and then we can automatically trigger push notification or personalized content in front of that customer. Now, that's not enough though, right? That's only the behavior on the app itself. Most financial services organizations, you'll have your own CRM, right? You'll have a merchant network. You may have a call center. You have your business systems. So what can we do? We extend that into our digital engagement platform so that we can help you to take the other user behavior together into a centralized location so that you have a complete 360 picture of what your customer is doing with you on the mobile and outside. Within our super app solution, can you help me to play the blue video with sound and the right video without sound? Just one moment.
Garry Sien leads the Global Financial Services Solutions function for Alibaba Cloud and is an international technologist with extensive experience in digital transformation for the financial services sector. Based in Hong Kong, Garry is responsible for deepening Alibaba Cloud's focus on global financial services industry, building finance ecosystem together with clients and partners, as well as defining and launching go-to-market strategy for the international region.
The video to my left. So this is my employee card. It's a 2 megapixel photo. That video was generated in 20 minutes using this one video. The passage that you heard is just a text out of my LinkedIn profile. And the reason I want to show you this is, again, when we talk about super app, it's not just functions, right? We very easily talk about features and functions, but what I want you to talk about is the mobile the opportunity for you to redefine how you interact? And if you're in the marketing functions today, this is fantastic, right? You get your best KOL, just take a photo. Now this is the left-hand side, right? So right-hand side is our model. This video was generated after they took a 10-minute video of him just doing gestures. Just random gestures. And then, 1 hour, there's a full video. And if I don't tell you this is a fake or AI-generated person, you might not realize. So again, have a think about, as you go through your super app journey, how do you want to change the way you interact? Last but not least, I want to share some showcases. So China Citibank International is one of our major customers in Hong Kong. Just a few numbers, right? 1 year after their launch, using our super app framework to redevelop their entire mobile suite, they were able to acquire 400% more mobile users. So that's one. Out of which, they were able to double what we call NTB, or new to bank customers. And there's no rocket science, right? There is actually no rocket science here. They did two things. They analyzed what their customers were doing on the mobile, and they served them personalized advertisement. That is it. No rocket science. Technology is available. People are doing it today. Next, Touch 'n Go Digital. So actually, they're in a similar fashion. We work very closely with them. But today, I just want to narrow down on what we helped them with recently, which is we transformed the way they test. Because on the mobile scenario, testing is one of the key pain points across all enterprises, of course, including financial services organization. And again, if I can help you to save 80% of your testing effort, it might be something that is worthwhile to think about. And this platform uses real devices. And it's not simulators, it's not emulators. We're also very happy as well that some of our technology, including our super app framework, including our cloud distributed database, is also used to support the electronic CNY wallet. So as you work with us, you're not just working with a technology partner, you're working with a partner who has very rich experience across the business domain. Core system modernization, I'll use another 2 minutes to wrap up. One is that we have a very rich partnership ecosystems, especially in terms of core business systems. Now, this list is going to continue to grow. So I hope that if you have partners that you're working with closely today, but they're not working with Alibaba Cloud yet, we very, very welcome you to come to us, to work with your partners as well. We want to enable them. This year, we have a number of core systems that came on, including securities and capital markets, including banking, including fintech, and including insurance. Of course, cloud native is always our number one objective, so our job is also to help you to understand how do you build the best cloud-based app on Alibaba Cloud. Landing zone is important. I don't want to drill into it. Yesterday you heard a bit from Alfred around our well-architected framework, but I just want to highlight the importance as your business grows, because many of our customers have the challenges that when they are starting small or they're emerging, they start to use the cloud, they don't set up their governance. So landing zone is not a technology. Landing zone is a set of methodologies and best practices so that the cloud reflects the way your organization is organized. So we can help you to set that up front, or we can teach you how to set it up front. Who can buy resources? Who can look at the bills? Who can pay the bills? And this is extremely important. Because if you don't do it now, as you get bigger and you want to do it again, it becomes a mess. Now, to wrap up, AmBank Hong Kong, one of the 8 digital banks in Hong Kong who uses the full stack of Alibaba Cloud. So we mentioned about the 5 core capabilities. Over 50% of that is what you see here. So they are 100% on the public cloud. Take a moment, digest it, a lot of information. Second is, and this gets even better, this is ZA International. So many of you may have heard. So the biggest virtual bank in Hong Kong, and we also help their digital insurance arm. Over the next few months, they will be 100% on Alibaba Cloud, but they will be deployed in a multi-cloud setup. So they are a hybrid cloud. So some of our customers have that challenge as well. So some of their systems is on their private data center deployment, but most of the workload, including their core database, their core systems, are all going to be on Alibaba Cloud. Last but not least, I know Sir Greg is here, and I didn't plan it this way, right? So we have the pleasure to work very closely with Gcash as well. Again, full stack, right? So what Gcash has worked with us is across all the domains that I just talked about. We have a lot more journey to go with the Gcash team, and some of the numbers that you see behind me, it's actually needs to be refreshed. But just to give you a sense, right? And this is just a few years ago, only a few years ago. So, to wrap up, we work with customers across the world. So what that allows us to do is we are exposed to many of the different challenges across different jurisdictions, right? So when we talk about we know your world, we are quite confident that we do. So welcome to share your pain point with us. Welcome to share a use case with us. My team and I, together with the local teams within across all of the Alibaba Cloud International footprint, are very, very happy to speak to you more. Thank you so much.